Team pick.
Mareska has arrived.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant Team pick.
Outworld Devourer.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team man. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant Team banned. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant Team pick. Dire Team pick.
Medusa.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Which is going to be free intelligence for Ode.
It's weird. I have actually seen. I'm not sure how to handicap this OD because I've seen it go very strongly in both directions. Pro games. I've seen like OD pretty much astral the Medusa and ignore her, and I've seen Medusa really punish the Outworld Devourer. I love this gyrocopter. Again, silent. Yeah. You know, 107 wins on gyro all time. This is a good draft, I think, by Vladimir.
Yes, I agree. They have a lot of save. 2 saves actually really hard to kill, and they have a good counter to him. But I'm surprised that they actually decided to pick.
So,
I think I like this draft well enough. I liked VGJ.Thunder going into the series, but I think I like the draft well enough. I'm going to pick Fly to Moon.
all right.
Already picked Fly to Moon. What
right.
it seems to be. Yeah, I would say that VGJ is a better team. They might take this, but it's gonna be hard. This lasts for a 50-60 minute plus, then they can win the game. Otherwise, I don't think.
All right, Fly to Moon. How can I go against the gyrocopter from Silent? Right, that is tough ass. Let's find out what's gonna happen in the second game with OD Pixel and God.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shiva. Medusa versus Gyrocopter could be a battle for the late game. We'll see how it pans out. But more specifically, the Medusa pick. Are you a fan of this one, Gods?
First thought is what the panel said, you know, versus OD doesn't sound great. Obviously, their idea is they've got heroes to play around it that they feel can help enable it and deal with deeps farmed enough. I kind of make up for the OD factor, so we'll see how it works. I think the other bigger problem is some of the frontliners for the Medusa is the Tiny, who's just going to be kind of an int sponge for that OD as well. So OD can just take it there, take it Medusa, and Big Sandy's Eclipse. This is, you know, Iceberg had a bit of a rough game last game, and this is the game where he should go off.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a hero where you're not really going to see sort of a gimmicky build like with his SF, where he just like to go for the spellcaster. You're going to see something a little more standard and robust on the OD.
Then he builds the Ag Scepter.
Well, let's not go that far. But it's going to be interesting because, I mean, this is the thing. Iceberg, other than sort of the mistakes that he's made after he gets these leads, he always does get these leads. He does have a very good sort of mechanical cool performance each game. And obviously we have seen early in the series he has been able to pull it through sometimes, but certainly can be a bit of a volatile player. But on the OD compared to the SF, I think if you're his teammate, you're feeling a little safer being in the hands of Iceberg.
Absolutely, and you've got these great saving tools with Snowball as well as the Astral having these double saves. And Silent is just, you know, silently a rock-solid carry player game after game. I feel like all of the games we've seen Fly to Moon play today, he hasn't had any bad showings. He was the MVP on that Void game at the start. He didn't die in either of their 2 wins. Both of those games on the carry role, he was deathless. And even that last game was Tiny. Like he did all he could. It was much more really Iceberg who made a few mistakes that were costly. So I think he will, as always, just be rock solid.
We'll find out, ladies and gentlemen, if Fly to Moon can draw this series to that game 3 as VGJ.Thunder did, of course, take the win in game 1. So do ignore the scoreboard at the top. It's just a test. So it is incorrect. Game 1 going to VGJ.Thunder, not to Fly to Moon.
And nothing crazy with the lanes, it looks like. Both VGJ supports kind of starting near the top lane. But DDC's head back bottom. Likely just see the typical dual lanes here that teams have been favoring a lot. Really mainly some of the Chinese teams that were still favoring these kind of defensive tri lanes to do the 3v2 lane where you try and win that lane, but I think they started realizing they lose the other 2 lanes, so definitely been an adjustment where Fade has been spending a lot more time securing Yang's lane in these games. For the RuneScripts, it's going to be 2 apiece, but not the split you normally see where one team gets both on one side. It's going to be neither team getting aggressive early on.
Yeah, we normally see a smoke play at least coming out from Fly to Moon in most of their games, but so this time around a bit more of a slow and steady opening to the game.
Yang has an Orb of Venom. He's really looking to bully this top lane. Puck plus Willow. Not a fun lane when you consider what Willow brings to the table, and that's going to be very bothersome for Silent's Gyrocopter. Mid lane was blocked all the way into the tower. One of those weird things which isn't always good if you can't get those last hits under tower, then the lane pushes back heavily the other way. Now Sila's going to have to last hit under the tower. See how this pans out, but I imagine the next waves will meet somewhere near Sila's side as well. Getting the range group there with the Mystic Snake. So first Mystic Snake, not really successful, except a bit of harass.
Top lane, a bit of harassment here onto Fade. Homing Missile will connect as well as the Paralytic Cast, but he's got the Shadow Realm.
Still hits Silent with that from far. Nicely done. Trading blows here. this is where it's really key that you have a lot of regen, which the Puck and Willow have a salve piece, but didn't have a lot of tangos to play around with. Silent having the 6 tangos that he went to lane with, so his regen is a little bit limited. He's going to have a magic wand soon, which is so important to get your wands early. Ooh.
You get the root onto
the bramble.
Always want to fly. Yeah. Trying to finish off. Switch Doctor, they got the shadow round. Can get it out in time.
Oh, you can get vision.
You can't.
Could have gone for the Shadow Realm hit earlier, I believe, unless it was on cooldown. I didn't see that. So.
It was done by the missile. Or the cast
if he could get it before the missile hit.
Sure.
Like he did it to kind of dodge the missile. Like it still hits, but dodge taking any damage if he just uses it as early as possible. But as I said, maybe on cooldown. Don't actually know.
So they're trying to get an aggressive. There'll be a homing missile heading the way of Yang. But
he knows Puck has no phase shift, so it's actually worth throwing that, and Yang getting very low. Oh boy, that Tango should save his life.
And he's got that sail prepared as well. Wants to pop that to stay in lane after the Maledict.
Very smart from Silent. Normally you just never throw a homing missile at a Puck because the easiest phase shift dodge of your life, but seeing that he used the Waning Rift, he knew that there was no points in it.
And looking at the mid lane matchup, seeming to be a slight edge for Iceberg, but all in all pretty close between him and Sylar.
Yep. Yeah, things go. Second null has not come out on the Curry, got just the little components for it. We kind of a matchup where we'll really just see the mechanical skill of these mid laners determine the kind of the CS advantages. OD not going for the Astral build, going for the Arcane Orb. He really wants to harass Sylar as much as possible, try burn away at that mana pool of his so he can't use Mystic Snake as much. But we'll see OD quickly run out of mana as a result. It's not only chewing through mana to use Arcane Orb, but he's also getting hit by the Mystic Snake.
Well, looking at the side lanes, it seems that both carries, Silent and Freeze, are finding decent. But Silent, I guess, a little bit behind the pressure of this duo lane. Yep. The Dark Willow and Puck proving to be just that little bit more effective.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see Willow just continue to stay at this top lane. Puck, I'm about to say, he needs some items. What's he got? He's got a bunch of stuff coming in the Courier. Looks like wands, now talismans. Bunch of little items to just help give him the whatever edge he can get, because this Naked Orb of Venom is not a good look for him. Bottom lane, they've gone in.
Yeah, they've got the Hex. On to the Doom. Non-Grata pops the stick charge. He had the Scorched Earth regen as well. It looks like it will be enough to get himself out of there. Not quite enough damage between DDC and Freeze to burst through this non-Grata offlane Doom.
Crazy there. OD bullied out of the mid lane, going all the way back to town.
This should be your first blood fade.
Yep.
Quick with the Shadow Realm here.
Good play, knowing that he's going to go for those bounty runes and punishing the fact that Witch Doctor does not have good vision around that top lane particularly. Getting a double bounty rune out of it and fade off to a great start. He's got first blood, couple bounty runes.
Silent is pretty low here, but Fade, he's just going to get gone on straight away. They move in on him, as he did not expect, I believe, the full trial lane to be there. Same time towards mid, Sylar. The help of DDC looking towards Iceberg. They have the Hex. Is it enough? They're trying to chase, but it looks like Iceberg will just be able to get himself out.
Yeah. Without the boots online, you can't really chase for another Impale. Maybe if he kept chasing Fade, could have hit him with a Shadow Realm, but Iceberg does get back to safety for now. Fade's TP was looking for that OD kill. I think he'd maybe rather stay in that top lane for a bit longer, but at the end of the world for him. He's actually going to find Iceberg at the Shrine, trying to... Okay, he won't get the kill before the Shrine comes up. Fade does get the info for his team at least.
Sylar gets a bit of space mid though off the back of this. DDC is going to be chased down by No Fear and Always Want to Fly.
Dunzo.
They got a few punching into him, DDC. As
Can he find
stick charges. He's not going to get the chance to do so. Shards are there from No Fear, Fly to Moon. The second kill for themselves.
But CS-wise, you can see that.
Yang should still tick out here to the Maledict, and indeed he does.
Yep. Off the phase shift a bit early. He ideally should have timed it such that he blocks a major Maledict proc. Medusa can't really go up and fight him. Doesn't want to trade right clicks with that Iceberg OD that has Arcane Orb. Too far out.
So they can do it. They've got the cast to set it up into the Maledict. Got a fair bit of burst. Is it going to be enough though? Because TPs are coming in from VGJ.Thunder. They're looking to turn this around. Got the Brambles trolling up one with the Hex as well. Onto No Fear. He'll be able to walk himself away. They do manage to protect Freeze. Those TP rotations. At the same time, top lane Silent. Actually getting right click down here by Yang as he commits with the Dream Core. Can Yang finish off this kill?
Has not, but he doesn't want to risk going for it and then dying. As the Salvin Gyrocopter is gonna alive. Nice try from Yang. Homing missile hitting him though stopped any kind of true kill potential there. As for bottom lane, Freeze had a shrine, so he fell back, and he's not going to have to go completely back to base and stay around. Actually looking for a kill here.
And they're trying on the mid lane. Up towards Sylar. Sylar does get rolled in upon. They know that TPs were used down towards bottom, but Yang still has his TP available. Looking to turn things around, goes in onto Nova at the same time down bottom. VGJ.Thunder. They find Non-Grata there with a combo of Freeze. At the same time mid, Sylar able to get the kill onto Nova.
Stable stats with a Medusa in your team always feels really good. Often the weakness is very much your laning stage. Medusa here that just wants to sit, farm, doesn't really rotate, doesn't really offer much elsewhere on the map, and the fact that they've been able to get farm on all three cores while having this Medusa is a great sign for VGJ.Thunder. We'll have to see whether or not Iceberg's OD has the counters in play to actually beat out a Medusa in the late game.
Just want to fly. Does find Yang, but Yang should be more than fine. He's got the orb available if needs be, and just walk it off. And laying the pressure, continuing up towards that tier 1 tower. They've managed to bring down to half of its health at the moment, VGJ.Thunder. DDC down bottom, to soak up some experience. Level 5 on his line.
Fast level 6 perhaps on him is a great way to set up a kill really anywhere on the map. Fade probably taking that to him. He's taking over the mid lane. He's only level 4.5, so you really want to get that level 6 Willow. Give him a lot more burst damage and kill potential. Probably not the great start for Silence Gyrocopter, and just Silence carry in general. And most of the games he's been playing, I feel like he's having these very free lanes. It's the first time he's been well and truly pressured. Most teams have kind of prioritized more Iceberg in some ways, or at least had a more static early game, but this dual lane caused Silent a lot of problems.
See what any supports of both sides are going to be able to find here as VGJ.Thunder. Again, just trying to find the levels on them at the moment as Fade has been given the middle lane.
Yep. They get a slow game, they'll take it. They want level 6 on supports, and more importantly, they want Freeze's initiation item, whether it's a Blink or a Shadow Blade. That's kind of go time for them. That's when they can smoke up, start making plays, start getting some kills. If they're allowed to just play a slow-paced farming game here in the early game laning stage, they'll just take it. They're under no pressure to make any moves. It's Flight of Moon who are smoked up. They know and they understand they have to go for this.
Yang, he wants to try and find this arcane room, but there's a bit of a surprise waiting there for him. As Flight to Moon immediately move in. They have the homing missile still coming forward from Silent up top, and it's an easy kill for them to find.
Held on to the Doom as well, which is definitely the right call, and make sure they don't overcommit on a puck. Save it for potential play here, and definitely a big weakness of Flight of Moon's draft. They don't push all that well. It's where you'd love to find picks into tier 1 towers here. They should be able to get this tier 1 tower even though they don't have the best pushing lineup, but The response from Thunder should very much be, let's take this bottom tier 1. Just put a siege creep down there, or at least do some damage to it. Same in mid lane. Damage you can to some towers on the Dire side if you can't defend the top lane. And even top lane, the puck can at least delay this move.
Put down the root, VGJ.Thunder. Can kick anything off here. They've got the Hex onto the Doom. Yang, DDC and Fade. Trying to find the killers. They find the stun onto 2. Dreamcock gets popped down. The Silent's going to move in and try to counterplay. He's got the cooldown. He's looking towards Fade. The paralyzing cast bounces back and they'll bring down Fade. Breeze